guys, I'm Nick and welcome back to the channel. So if you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe for all the latest Star Trek Picard news and other great sci-fi TV shows. So we're almost at the end of season 1 of Star Trek Picard. Only one episode to go now. It's so sad. So today I'm going to bring you a bit of a breakdown of the trailer for episode 10. And we're going to have a bit of a look through the sneak peek scene and see what we can learn from that. So let's take a look and see what's in the trailer.
I want you to reconsider your present course of action.
We have no choice.
That is a failure of imagination.
What are you doing here? Trying to save the universe?
All ships prepare to fight.
It's the end. Oh? Everything. The sky will crack. The worlds will burn.
Show them you're not the enemy. You're not the destroyer.
Well, it certainly looks like it's going to be a jam-packed episode to round out the season. So let's break down the trailer shot by shot and see if we can work out a bit more info on what's going to be in our next episode. So the trailer starts with Picard saying, I want you to reconsider your course of action, which is obviously to Soji, which is most likely in reference to contacting the alliance of synthetics to come and wipe out all organic life. And if we look in the bottom of frame here on this shot, we can see the transmission tower being built to contact the Federation of Synthetics. Soji's looking up towards the sky, which is probably at the tower, and it looks like we've also got Jurati here looking up to the antenna as it's being constructed. Next we've got Narek showing up at the crash site of the last Serena, and it looks like he's possibly there to maybe join forces with our crew because he's there to save the universe, and his posture and demeanour certainly seems more friendly than hostile. We have the Romulan fleet heading through hyperspace on their way to attack the android colony. We've got the entire Romulan fleet arriving at Coppelius, ready for action. Commodore O ordering all the ships to prepare to fight. Some big space combat of an epic scale in there. Fleets of Romulan warbirds versus giant space flowers and God knows whatever else. With the La Serena ducking and weaving as it engages in a few evasive maneuvers through Romulan disruptor fire amidst all of the space flowers, and also a couple of these Romulan snakehead scout ships engaging in the action as well, which is obviously probably Narek's ship and maybe some other Romulans as well. We've got what looks like Narek sitting by a campfire or something with Raffi saying that it's the end of everything, the sky will crack and the worlds will burn. Elnor appears to be engaging in some of his martial arts maneuvers on a couple of unsuspecting androids. We have a red beam firing into space, potentially opening up some kind of portal. Because we get another shot at the end of the trailer which sort of shows a tear opening up or a portal with kind of a whole bunch of giant caterpillar or millipede looking kind of aliens hurrying to come out there. I wonder whether this red beam that's sort of opening up a portal or whatever is the continuation of this shot, which even though the energy beam that's firing into space is blue, I wonder if it's sort of a progression of that. So it starts off as a blue beam and then as it builds power or something it turns red and then opens up a rift. Picard here in a shot looking suitably terrified. Maybe he's scared of giant space centipedes, or maybe they've just come to eat the giant space flowers. That we see rising up through the clouds here, heading for space, most likely to protect the android colony from the Romulans. Picard pleading with Soji here, saying, show them you're not the enemy, show them you're not the destroyer. And Soji looking quite worried here, looking at a computer display which shows a whole lot of yellow dots on the left of frame there, which I assume indicates Romulan warbirds. But she's also looking at a shot of the last Serena, which is the ship rotating largest in frame there just next to her, and she's screaming out no. So I'm assuming the last Serena is being targeted for attack, and maybe she's a little bit upset by that. So there's going to be some exciting action there to be had. And it looks like we've also got some interesting stuff going on down on the planet, with Picard being held hostage by the synths. No doubt we're also going to get some little surprises and some little twists to round off the season. And now let's have a look through the sneak peek scene and see what we can learn from that. So the scene begins with Picard releasing one of Dr. Soong's artificially created butterflies out the window of the room he's being held in. And he looks at the butterfly and he says, "Lucky you," as it flies off to its freedom, while Picard's stuck under house arrest in this room. Next, we've got Soji approaching the room that Picard's being held in, and she scans her eye to gain access to the room. Jurati's there in the background, kind of watching on what Soji's doing, and she sort of looks a bit pensive or a bit unsure about things since she's perhaps sided her allegiances with the androids. So Soji enters and she says to Picard, "I just wanted to see if you were okay." Picard says, "Well, I will be when I'm set free." Soji says, "Picard, try to see this from our point of view. You choose if we live. You choose if we die. You choose. We have no choice. You organics have never given us one." And Picard says, "To say you have no choice is a failure of imagination. Please don't let the Romulans turn you into the monsters they fear." So I wonder with Narek heading for the last arena whether he might team up with our crew there. He might end up coming to the ship and say, "Hey, I told you guys these synthetics were bloody bad news. Can I have refuge on your ship, please? And we can all band together to fend off this attack from these evil United Federation of Synthetics that are about to come and wipe us all out." So I wonder whether this little scene here implies that maybe Narek possibly could be now a good guy. I don't know how we're going to feel about that. It sort of feels like that maybe with the new threat of the synthetics calling upon the advanced race, using the beacon to get them coming to help them, whether this means that all organics across the Alpha Quadrant will need to band together and the Romulans will undoubtedly say, "I told you so," to the Federation. I don't know whether that's the case, but I mean, we've got an attack here happening on more than one front. We've got threat by the Romulans, we've got a threat from the synthetics, and what's the Federation going to do? We've got threats coming in at all angles. Is the Federation going to show up? Are those squadron of Federation starships that Admiral Clancy sent to DS-12 to meet up with Picard, did they get Picard's message? Have they got the message and are heading to Gullion 4 to rendezvous and to help the situation? Who knows? I would like to think Riker's little name drop of, "Oh, I'm still in active reserve," maybe means he's going to show up with the Titan perhaps and lend a hand maybe. That'd be great to see, wouldn't it? I think seeing Riker and Troy on board the Titan coming to Picard's aid would be a great moment. Even greater if it turned out to be the Enterprise F, particularly because he's established that he hasn't fully retired and that he very well may, come back into service if the situation deems necessary. And let's face it, with 218 warbirds and a United Federation of synthetic life about to wipe out the Alpha Quadrant, I can't think of a better reason, can you? The Borg cube is significantly damaged, so it'll be questionable as to whether Seven can get that back up and running again to lend a helping hand in the fight. I wonder whether Raffi's little blue magical imagination ship repair device, I'll just point this little remote control at the Borg cube and all of a sudden I'll just use my imagination and the cube will completely become fully repaired and be able to take off and go back up into space. I hope it's not as simple as that. That would be a bit of a too easy fix or something. Hopefully there's more to it than that. I can't believe it's almost over. I hope everyone's keeping safe and healthy. stay locked down, stay safe, keep your hands clean and your cupboard full of toilet paper and all that sort of thing. And I can't wait to see the finale of our first season of Picard, and there'll be obviously a lot to talk about in the conclusion of that at the end of the week. I will see you very soon for my final review of Picard in episode 10. And until then, stay safe and healthy.